Log into gyroscopeme.com, the hottest online radio station in the world. GS Radio all day, all night, worldwide. Powered by Gyroscope Media Group, LLC.
GS Radio, the best internet radio station worldwide. Providing the best in music and talk shows. Go to www.gsradionj.com and check out the best internet station in the world. You're listening to GS Radio, internet radio station powered by GMG LLC.
In the beginning there was Jack, and Jack had a groove. And after a while, a deep sleep fell upon him, and he went looking for a new groove. He began looking for a new nation, and it had to be a soulful nation. And he found it, and it was Soulful House Nation. And he saw a building. It was a tall building. It had 10 stories, and he entered the building and got on the elevator and pushed the 10th floor, but it stopped on the 8th floor. And that's where he found his new groove. And he began to jack and jack and jack and jack. And he knew that this was it. It was Soulful House Nation on the 8th floor. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
We've got another one. Our special guest today, as you know, is Lionel Leach. So here's a quick overview of what's going to happen here. I'm going to tell you what the hottest song, according to Track Source, is. Then we're going to give you some updates. I'm going to tell you, well, we're not going to play it today, but we're just going to let you know what the old school song would have been. Nah, I'm not even going to tell you. We'll just save it for next week. But then I want to tell you about our Song of the Week. And, of course, our special guest is Lionel Leach. So go back to and check out our show from last week. We had Denzel Boyd, DJ D. Boyd, and that was really, really good. And we had a chance to hear from one of the youngest in charge here. So that was a good look. So go back and check that out. Hey, listen, if you just came to the show, just logged in, just share. Now, okay, so according to Track Source in the Soulful House category, the #1 song of the week, and this is three weeks in a row. This is very difficult to do. First of all, it's very difficult to get one, but then to be #1 3 weeks in a row, that's really, really difficult. So anyway, congratulations to Southern Freeze, Freeez, and Dr. Packer and M2MR. Southern Freeze. It's called Southern Freeze. Now, let's do this. Let's do some updates. These updates are coming to you live from the 8th floor. Okay, so, hey, this was a great weekend for parties. Oh, my goodness. So many events to close out this season here. Well, I wouldn't say this season. as we move into the close of the season. Most things will be over by the end of September, a few things in October for the outdoor season. But I just want to let you know, I want to give a big shout out to my buddy, Mr. Belmont, and his wife. Went over their place yesterday and had a nice, they had a barbecue and food galore and got to take home a bucket. So I'm happy about that. Then I went over to Mark IV Disco. I had a chance to have some fun and rock out with them. I had a chance to, DJ Mac was on the attack. Hey, wait a minute. Mac Attack? Anyway, Mac was on the attack. Then also you had Cassim, and they were getting it in, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, they were getting it in. And, of course, I had a chance to see Mr. G, Derek, and others were there, John, and quite a few others were there. So it was a good time yesterday. And then, too, I know yesterday they had Weequahic Park, but I'd already committed to stop by some friends' place. So that was good. Had a great day. So watch this. So September 8th, this Friday, I'm asking everybody to come out this Friday. I'm going to be on Edison Place in Newark for Friday nights. That's Mark IV Disco. As you know, last year they celebrated their 50th year. And what they're doing now in Edison Place, they got this thing going, this little outdoor thing going every Friday night, I guess until it gets too cold or whatever. But anyway, I will be there on Friday night, so I'm asking everybody to come out. I'm ready to go. Matter of fact, I could do it today if I had to. So I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna bring straight heat, and I got some other little surprises for you. So come out Friday. Friday opens up. I should say, I was gonna say the doors open, but the event opens up at 4 o'clock, and they go till, I guess they run out of breath, or I don't know, out of electricity. I don't know, but they go till late. So come out this Friday night, September 8th. Then also on the 9th, as you know, the Weequahic House Music Festival. But, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. We got the man himself to speak to that. So we're gonna leave that right there. Then, of course, in Union Township, you got the Soulful House event going on, and that's at. Okay, I'm gonna take a chance on this. Beer Tumful Park. I'm gonna go with that. Beer Tumful Park, and that's at 1300 Winslow Ave, but in Union Township. But they got DJ Cool, Roxanne Shante, Kia Stewart, our own Kia Stewart, and of course DJ D Boyd, who was on the show last week. We've had Kia on the show also, so they're gonna be there. Then September 10th, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. It's a free event from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's going to be DJ Flash on it, who we've interviewed him, DJ Kevin McAllister, DJ West, DJ Truth, DJ Antoine Qua, who we've interviewed, DJ Sean Lover, who we've interviewed, DJ Doughboy, and DJ Soulful Messiah, who we have interviewed. Next, part of the soap opera series, we have DJ Psychotic. Well, he prefers to call himself exotic, but I say he's psychotic after all the slick talk and everything. How he's going to put me on the chopping block and all that, send me back to Jersey. Then, of course, Tommy Davis talking all slick talk and said, okay, the reason we couldn't do the first, had to push it back the first time because they couldn't find an ambulance to take me back to New Jersey. I mean, but I'm going to give them a chance to back out. I'm going to give them a chance to back out while they still can. All right, so matter of fact, they're going to be here next week to try to back up their claims. Next week, I'm going to have Tommy Davis, DJ, producer, label owner, quantized, unquantized, big time. Collective Minds just finished that, super dope guy. And he's going to be on here too, and I'm going to see all the slick talk that they're going to do. So that's next week, next Monday. And on the 16th, I'm going to be down in Baltimore. Then on the 17th, SMB is having their closeout on the 17th. That's going to be in Irvington. So that's always a big event. That's another event you should be on. They're still looking. They might have a few more spots for vendors. So if you're a vendor, hit them up. All right, they might have a few more spots. Hit them up. Then on the 23rd, you got the free ride, Lincoln Park. That's in Lincoln Park. And that's going to be, as you notice, Ricky Clark and what he's been doing. They got Amir, Story, DJ Story, Mel, Soulful Messiah, and Dave Barber. So they got all them. Then you have, on September 23rd, I'm going to have a birthday celebration for Nettie. Nettie is, as you know, she is a person who critiques events, and, you know, for the most part, you want to be Nettie approved. Anyway, there's going to be the NX Exchange, and that's going to be at 883 Sanford Ave in Irvington, and that's DJ Buzz and DJ Rob on the decks. September 24th is the 22nd anniversary New Beginnings in Woodland Ave. That's by Brookside and Western Parkway. DJ D-Boy is going to be on that ticket, Sonny B, and DJ Pookie. Of course, you know, DJ Pookie and Bev Likewater, who we have interviewed on the show, are going to be are the ones who are in charge of that thing. Hey, watch this. We're going to do some birthdays, and then I got some songs that I want you to check out, all right? Hey, watch this. This was a busy week for birthdays. So let's say, so this is September. Somewhere in December or January, things were popping. Here we go. Birthdays. Bernie Grateful, DJ Rayco, Beverly Mack, Michelle Cheverini, Evelyn Evie Munoz, C Justice, Chili Black, Mary Freeman, DJ D-Boy's mom, Hakeem Sabrina, Steve Maxwell, Terrell, DJ Power Hardy, Andrew Fellow, who's the one who made a breakout song for Anaya Weathers, This Man, a South African DJ and producer, Angel Impact, and she works on Deep House Magazine. And you got Master Soul Funk, Soul Reject Crew, DJ Silk Smooth, and Trish Ware, all birthdays. Then, upcoming events. 9/9. Next week, we have DJ Exotic, Charlie Crush, and Tommy Davis. Last but not least, some new tracks that you should be checking for. Rodney Energy Atkinson. We're going to play his stuff in, he's got an EP called Cosmic Order. We're going to play it in the Shazam Free Zone. We not only play it, but we say it. But let me tell you somebody else who you should be checking for. It's got just another dope series of tracks EP. And we're going to play one of them. It's Afric and Soul. And that's Tariq Brody. Check for him. Check for Tariq Brody. He's got this track called Another Life, which we're going to play. So, anyway, that's what's up there. So, we got a little glitch going on here. Okay. This has been a very, very exciting day. Prepared a lot of stuff, and we've been having some issues with the tech. I don't know. Of course, I don't know what's causing it. We're trying to work that through now. Joy. This is Virgo season. I know. Joy's a Virgo. Matter of fact, I know Joy's a Virgo, September 17th. My sister, Rose, September 17th. My childhood friend, Fred Harris, September 17th. And there's another person. It's not coming to me. I don't remember the name right now, but it'll all come to me, of course. Yeah, so congratulations to them. Hey, in the meantime, too, while we're getting this up and running, I just want to talk to you about this Friday night. This Friday night, Mark IV Disco has been, on Friday nights, has been doing their weekly event on Edison Place. It's right next to the Prudential building. It's right over there. And they've been bringing some really great DJs. They've been attracting some nice crowds. If you have not come out, you want to do it. And especially if you've been waiting till now, Friday nights tonight. We're gonna have a lot of music, a lot of DJs. I know I'm gonna be on the bill, which is exciting. DJ Pookie is gonna be on the bill, so you know what that is. And then I'll get the other names soon, so it's gonna be a big weekend here. Okay, So, can we bring on our special guest, Chuck? Okay. Lionel, are you out there? Can you hear me?
DJ Pookie's gonna be on.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
What that is.
All right, so.
And then
Sorry about that.
Okay.
no problem.
I'm getting
So it's gonna be.
like I'm getting an echo. Okay. Now it's gone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Lionel?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. All right. So listen, let's get started, and we want to have this conversation with Lionel. As you know, many of you know, Lionel is the person who is the, I'm going to say, chief cook and bottle washer when it comes to the to the big event, Weequahic Park. And, you know, we're super excited about it because, you know, every year that thing has been getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But for those of you who don't know Lionel and the man behind the scenes, I'm going to introduce you to him. But, okay, this is exciting. This is B season here. Anyway, so, Lionel, just for
Yes,
the people
sir.
who may not know you, just tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm Lionel. I'm out of Irvington, New Jersey. Been around the scenes for quite a while. Been doing this house music thing now. This has been my 7th year in charge of the Weequahic Festival. I took it over from, I was asked to basically take it over from the co-founders that actually did it to help enhance it and bring a little bit of a different flavor to it, which I think we've been able to do successfully. And, you know, I've been on the scene for a while, again, just basically in the background, just trying to make things happen in the community.
Fantastic. Now, how about early music influences so everybody can get to know you?
Well, I am a big Diva fan, Ellen Champagne King, First the Waters, Michael Jackson. I like the Doobie Brothers, right? I'm a Doobie Brothers fan. Matter of fact, they're coming to Jersey, actually. I can't wait to see them. They're actually going to be performing down here together with Steely Dan. I love Steely Dan. So I love a flavor of music. Also, you know, with my Caribbean roots, listen to a lot of Caribbean music as well, and still drums. So little versatility doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people have doobie in their funk, whether they acknowledge it or not, you know, especially listen to the music, Long Train Running, and all that kind of stuff. And Steely Dan, I think probably the one that most people know, Reeling in the Years. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Now, and the reason I bring it up is very, very, as you know, more and more you're starting to hear DJs mix some of those old rock classics into house music.
Exactly.
So, Mark Lewis just won Dreaming, you know, from Fleetwood Mac. He did that. Is dope. And then I know Mark Francis has done quite a few tracks that he's mixed from back in the day and put that anyway. So, all right, good stuff. Yeah. So how did you get into soulful house music? How did you get into house music?
Wow. So I would say it was back in 84, 85. I went to Essex Catholic High School, and I went to the East Orange one. And back in the day, Essex Catholic was known for their great parties, right? And DJ Punch and Mark Thornton. We used to call him DJ Shep back in the day.
Okay.
They would play this music, and I would just be listening to it, and just the beats, the melody, and you know, it was, you know, we called it club music, right? And and I went to my first affair, right? I went to right when the garage was just about closing down and stuff like that. I was able to go in there with a friend of mine named Gratian Hardy. We worked at McDonald's together on Route 22, actually on the Parkway, actually, which is now last week I just passed it something totally different. I think they made it the Whitney Houston Plaza. But anyway, went there and I enjoyed the experience, and then I would go to Studio 54, and I just fell in love with the music, and you know, it just has this freeness to it, right? Where and people just show their expressions in all different types of ways, and I just loved it. Always loved it, and that's why I got hooked to it.
Now, where is it headed? As a person who's been around it for some time, where is this thing headed?
Well, I saw the interview that you had with Sultan,
Mm-hmm.
and he hit it right on the nose. Those three young men, I won't call them boys, but those three young men,
Uh-huh.
because they're young men, they're about to take this to a whole different level.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really proud of them. And Amir is like the grandfather amongst them, and he's
Yeah,
in his
man.
early 20s, right? So I
Yeah.
think we're in good shape. I would like to see more female artists, young
Yes.
artists coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that takes time, and but I think we're in the right direction. I think we just got to keep influencing the younger ones. Look, I so appreciate when parents bring their little 5 and 6 year olds to the festivals, and they're out on the dance floor dancing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just amazing to see, and I know we're going in a good direction. So when you and I are in the dirt, basically, this thing will still live on.
Speak for yourself. That's crazy, right? Hey, I did see it, and I am watching it, and I am checking. And part of the conversation that we had was, are the people, say, who are, I'm going to say, running things or pulling most of the strings now, because we always say we want to bring younger people in and all that, but then at the same time, assuming that's true, are we willing to listen to their interpretation of the music and to take their input? I think we got to be open to that. So, Tom, we go back to that interview. He mentioned that one of the kids, excuse me, I'm sorry. What was that?
Young men.
One of the young men said, one of the young men played a hip hop lyrics over a house track. And
Well, I'll give you one. I'll give you one even better.
Okay.
Right. So you remember to the first Caribbean event that you came to
Yes.
with us,
Mm-hmm.
and I brought in big soca artist Allison Hines.
Yes, I do.
If you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I listened to one of the tracks that Amir was playing in Trenton,
Mm-hmm.
and he was mixing her track on another song. And there was always this controversy that, well, Lionel, why are you mixing soca and house music and soulful house and stuff like that? Amir just hit it, right?
Mhm.
For him to play that song and people dancing to it and not even understanding the words that they're dancing to, right? But they're dancing to it and having a good time.
Right.
It just proves what I said all the time: music is music, and you give
Yes.
people music to dance to, they're gonna dance,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Even though it's a different flavor, they're gonna dance.
That's right.
Last year when we brought Kevin Little last year, right? People go, oh, why are you bringing Kevin Little? They have no idea who Kevin Little was. But as soon as he got on the stage and started singing,
Yes.
oh, I know that song,
Uh-huh.
right? So, look, my father always told me when I was younger, he said, Junior, if it's if you're simple-minded, you're not exploring the mind, right? And you always gotta stretch it, right? And stretch the mind, because if it's comfortable, it's wrong.
Right.
If it's comfortable, it's wrong. So you got to be uncomfortable in order to extend and move things forward. And I'll just end with this one tidbit. And my good friend Vernon and Sultan are doing this down in Jamaica next week, right? Well, this week coming up, right? So they won't be here. But isn't it ironic that now you're going to Jamaica to hear house music, but when you're down there, you're going to be listening to soca and reggae music.
Right.
Because when you get on the plane, you're going to be listening to that.
Right.
When you get when you get to the resort, you're going to be listening to it. So I think I want to say maybe I'm a little trailblazer in mixing the two genres together.
Right. Hey, let's be honest for a minute. It's kind of like a lot of people say things depending on the environment they're in. So most people wouldn't curse in church, even if they curse like sailors. or in the house of worship. They would just want to do it there. That's the environment there. But it doesn't mean they don't know the curse words. And it doesn't mean if they leave that place. Now watch this. Okay, to a person, all the DJs, all the people I've interviewed, hey, come out of a hip hop and R&B background, and of course they know the Caribbean music too. So you know, maybe they don't know all the cracks and the crevices, but if it became like a Kevin Little, they know. A Shabba Ranks, they know the dance hall. So you know, I think sometimes people don't necessarily acknowledge that they can bring one to the other, and they can have multiple tastes in the same environment. So I agree with you on that. Yeah. Anyway, how about this? Yeah. How about some your favorite artists from back in the day, classics of the day? Anything you mentioned? I know a diva. Anybody else?
You know, I was a big Curtis Blow fan.
Okay.
MC Light.
Okay.
Right. Big jazz. Right. Okay. My father used to play a lot of jazz. There was a gentleman. He was a soulful jazz player named Johnny Hunt.
Okay.
Excellent jazz play on the sax. Actually, he was blind.
Oh,
right.
Really?
He was blind and played sax, and used to love his music. So, like I said, I listen to all genres, but I would say those are the big ones. But you know, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Teddy Pendergrass. Love all of Teddy Pendergrass's music. Right. So I'll listen to a little bit of everything.
Okay. Before we go on, I want to give a big shout out to Charlie Kaz. What's up? Thanks for coming on board. Thanks for coming in the room. All right. Okay. And they're going to ask everybody to share. Hey, right now you can find us on, of course, Facebook, but we're on the website. We're on Twitter right now. We're on Vimeo. We're on Twitch and YouTube and some other places. So anyway, you can catch us in a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different situations. Hey, let's start to get into it here. So you run the Weequahic Festival. Now, what's the purpose of this, and how did it get started?
So it goes back 13 years ago. Well, actually before that. Charlie Mitchell, who everyone knows in the community, and freeholder, now commissioner, they just changed the name, Rufus Johnson, used to start doing picnics, right? Birthday party picnics, right? And it just really got so out of hand because it was so many, not only elected officials, but people just coming. It just grew to something that was enormous. So about 13 years ago, they decided, hey, let's do something at Weequahic Park. And pretty much in the image, it received the blessings from I would say, Anthony Smith, from Lincoln Park, and they started the first festival right there in Weequahic Park, and it was just, you know, it was a nice gathering, a couple of thousand people, and it just grew from there, and you know, to where we were last year at 27,000, which was unbelievable. I know when the sheriff's department tells me that they have to close down a main road because there's just, you know, they had to close down Phelan Heights. There was just no room for people to drive. I know we're doing a good job, and like you said, every year it just keeps expanding, getting bigger, and we just keep adding more and more things. Last year, what was one of the biggest hits was that we added the children's zone, right? Children's play zone. So, and that just came out of going to these other festivals and seeing that, unfortunately, there's always at least one or two instances where you have to stop the music and bring the child up on stage and say, hey, we lost this child, can you come? So not only was that an embarrassment to the parent, right, because people think that the parent might have been neglective, child just got away from them, right? It also really interfered with the DJ, because especially if a DJ's in his groove, his or her groove, and then you got to lower the music, that shuts the whole momentum down. So we started this children's zone last year, and it was great. And I saw so many kids crying, and they were crying because their parents wanted to leave, but they didn't want to leave the zone. So again, that was just the added feature. that we added. We added book bag giveaways. We gave over 100 book bags with school supplies in it, between the Commissioner Johnson and Councilman Pat Council. And the committee, Carolyn Bird did a great job on that. So every year we keep adding stuff on, and we'll have additional add-ons this year.
Okay. Now, how did you get involved in this thing here? I guess you was minding your own business one day. And
I
they
was
walked up
minding
to
my
you.
own business, and literally, Dan, I was minding my own business, right? So, Commissioner Johnson came to me and says, "Hey, I need you to run the house festival." I said, "Absolutely not. I'm not doing it." I was running the biggest track meets in the world, right? I have 2 track meets that's in the Guinness Book of World Records with 10,000 athletes over the course of 7 to 8 days, and bringing in like $50 to $56 million in economic impact. And I knew the work that it took to do that, right? That was, for 9 years I did that. I ran 34 national championships, and people from other countries would come over and ask, how are you doing this? So that was a lot of work. And finally, I got away from that. And then here it is, Commissioner Johnson says, "Well, I want you to do this." And we fought for about a week, right? I love my brother, but we fought for about a week. I'm like, absolutely not am I doing this. And then he just said, "You're doing it. You got no choice. And by the way, the event is in June." And this was like in May we had this conversation. I think literally we had about 6 weeks to put that together. And we brought the committee together, and we put it together and was successful. And, sometimes, having success is its own creature. Because, I can't seem to keep getting wrapped into this every year to keep doing it.
Wow. So let's talk about the event. First of all, let's talk about the setting, and also Weequahic Park is a very, very large park, and it might even have some accolades that go with it. So let's talk about the setting and Weequahic Park and that kind of stuff like that.
So Weequahic Park is the largest park, oldest park in the United States, actually.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
And it has the largest.
I'm sorry, you went out.
That was a call. The largest river, pond, man-made pond. That has a 2.3 mile trail that goes around the lake. So it's very historic in nature. It used to be, they used to have horse races there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So you can go to certain parts of the park and you'll see some of the old stalls where they used to house the horses there. They're still there. So, it's in the heart of the South Ward, the largest ward in the city of Newark, one of the largest wards in the state, actually. And it's very historical in nature, not only just because of the park, but just being in the heart of downtown Newark, in the heart of Newark, right? So it has a lot to go with it. It's a beautiful park. People really don't realize how big it is until you try to get in, and then you drive around in these loops, and really the park is 3 different parks by itself, right? So the park where the section that we're in is one side of the park. Then you have the Route 22 side, which if you make the wrong turn, you'll be stuck on the Route 22 side forever. And then there's the Elizabeth Meeker Street side, which is where you have a lot of the racquetball courts and stuff like that. So it's a tremendous park. The truck actually, borders Hillside, so it's right there. When you get from Hillside to Newark, because the first thing after you cross the Hillside border is the park, right? It has the first tee golf course there, where a lot of Black and Hispanic young men and women get to learn how to play the game of golf. And actually, there are 2 golfers right now that came out of that first tee out of Weequahic that are actually on the tour right now, PGA Tour. So, again, like I said, it's just very historical in nature. And it's a great park, it's a great opportunity, and I'm just blessed to be given the ability to do it.
Can I tell you and attest to how big that park is? See, I have first-hand experience. Every time I go to that park, I get lost.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
know,
you
that's a
can.
large park.
And New Jersey has the oldest park system in the United States.
Okay.
People don't know that, right?
No,
So,
I didn't know that.
Branch Brook and Weequahic are big pieces of that. There were some of the first parks that were ever built. So, yes.
Wow. So let's get down to some logistics on this.
Okay.
So what location in the park is this going to be? So when you come into the park, where are you going to be located in the park?
So, if there's two main entrances, right? But we
Mm-hmm.
tell people to come through the Elizabeth Avenue Meeker Street side.
Okay.
So you can come right into the park. As soon as you come into the park, you can't miss us. It's on the left-hand side. We have over 800 parking spaces
Mm-hmm.
that are there. They fill up very fast,
Mm-hmm.
as you can
Mm.
imagine. So,
Oh yes.
uh, oh, get there early if you intend on parking in the park, or else you'll be parking up by Weequahic High School and walking down the hill. I learned that last year. People were doing that, and
Okay.
we're right behind the major baseball fields.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you see the baseball fields, you'll hear the music.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and on the other side is Phelan Heisen. So, that's one of the streets that eventually gets shut down by the Newark Police Department and rerouting folks because there's so much traffic that passes that way. But like I said, you come down the Elizabeth Avenue, Meeker Street side, you can't miss it.
Mm-hmm. Now, for the people who have weak bladders, tell us about the restroom situation.
So, this is a major expense for us, but we have over 25 porta johns
Mm-hmm.
that we have there. Plus, we have our community center, which is a little bit up the hill,
Mm-hmm.
but right in back of the stage, that has beautiful indoor male and female facilities that are right there. The VIP section, of course, has their own. And then there's another one inside of the community center. So there's plenty of restrooms around. The community center will be open for people to use the restrooms, and we'll be having some of our guests there as well.
Okay. Now, when people get there, they want to eat, they want to drink, they want to buy stuff. Tell us about the vendor mix, and are there any more vendor opportunities open?
There are very few vendor opportunities available, but if you go on to our website, aaccoec.org, you can go on and reserve a spot. I had a person that called me early this morning she owns a vegan food truck.
Okay.
And she's coming down from Michigan.
Oh,
So
wow.
I said, hey, if you want to get down here and do it, feel free. We would love to have you. Last year we had a total of 63 vendors.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
63 vendors. I'm sure we'll be close to that this year by the time this is out. But Thursday is kind of like our last day, especially accepting food vendors, because then there's the whole fire department piece that has to take place. So there's plenty of vendors, plenty of different food to try and eat. Plus, if you want to buy a VIP ticket, there's free food and everything inside of there.
Okay. So, wow. Okay, so you have VIP tickets available too. Let's talk about healthcare for a minute. I'm there,
Yes.
having a good time. I'm working, and next thing I know, boom, I overheat, or I don't know, something happens. And what's available in terms of how you set the place up? In terms
We
of
set the place up, and if you notice when you get there, we set it up almost like in a horseshoe, right? So it gives enclosure, so people aren't all over the place. But that we also do that for a reason, to give our sheriff's department and EMTs the ability to get in and out with really not disturbing anything and causing any harm to anybody. So, there's certain things we put in place to make sure that everything is covered, but also it's a security reason behind it, just to make sure that we're covered.
Okay. So security, too, for those who have a concern. Now, to be fair, I, on multiple occasions, have said to security, okay, guys, stop having fun. So there's I mean, knock on wood and everything. Huh?
I'll tell you this, right? This is pretty funny. The last 3 festivals, one of the sheriff's officers ended up finding their wives there.
Really?
and got married. Yeah. Yes. The last 3.
You know, we got to speak to that gentleman. No more of that on the job.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, you know, to that point, there's a lot of single people that come to this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And well, put it this way. Maybe they didn't necessarily come to meet somebody, but I'm sure they had their eyeballs open, the side eye open.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
this is a great meeting place if you want to meet, network, connect, reunion style, whatever. It's all there, right?
Exactly.
So security is taken care of. How about, let's talk about tents, chairs, and the VIP section. Talk to us about that setup and what happens there.
VIP section is set up alongside. You have stage access, you have big screen access, plus all you can eat. We're sponsored by Tito's, so there's a little bit of consumption that goes on there, but it's all it's all good, all regulated, and you have your own dance floor, as well as you're allowed to bring your tents, but it's going to be outside, right outside the dance area, because we want to be able to have people be able to dance freely and not run into chairs or tents and stuff like that. So we kind of keep that to a we try to make that reasonable.
So a lot of thought and a lot of coordination goes into this to make this thing go just so, correct? So
That's correct.
now let's get to the entertainment. No. Hold on a second before we do entertainment. You got to move around a little bit, I guess. Yeah. Okay. All right.
You don't have a charger. Android charger.
Charger. iPhone.
Android. No. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Dan.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna roll this along here. Sound like you need to end. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's talk about sound. A lot of people don't realize how important the sound is until it goes off or it doesn't sound right. Talk to us about the sound at this event.
So the sound is going to be great. The sound is, damn it.
Okay. It's always exciting. This is one of the exciting things about doing something live. You get to have these scenarios. So I'm hoping he comes back in, but the lineup, forget about it. I'm going to have him talk about the lineup next, just, when we get in, just in case we go out and you'll know who the lineup is. I was trying to save that for a little bit later, to kind of, how they bring up the warm-up act and then they bring on the main act. So we're trying to get him back in. I see Eddie Nicholas. How you doing, sir? Eddie Nicholas is in the house. Eddie Nicholas is a key person in making this happen. And not only for the planning, but, well, you'll see. Assuming we get him back, it looks like we're working to get him back. We'll have him in a few moments. So, while we're waiting for him to come back, just a few things that I just want you to be aware of. As a person who has been to the Weequahic House Music Festival, this is a family-friendly event. Let me say that one more time. This is a family-friendly event on several fronts. Okay. Number one, if you have kids, there's a children's zone so that kids can hang out, give them a chance to network, meet other kids, play with other kids. And they have things going on in there, entertainment and fun stuff for them to do. So that's important. That's happening there. Second thing, for other kids, it's a great time for parents and grandparents to bring them to hear the music. And, you know, we talk about bringing younger people into the music. Well, hey, here's your chance. In addition to that, you will see at all these events where the parents and the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the big brothers, the big sisters, the cousins, etc., bring the little ones. They end up stealing the show because they're seriously dancing. They're feeling the beat. They're feeling the love. Some other things that are really, really, really powerful about these events. It is a big, big, big event where you can meet a lot of people. If you want to network, this is the place to do it. You will get a chance to meet all the people that you want in this event. Okay. If you are hungry, there's tons and tons and tons of places and different types of foods you can eat at this event. If you want to chill, you can bring your tent, you can bring your chair, you can sit back, stay away from the action, you'll be able to hear it. But in the meantime, you'll be able to chill and relax and catch up. You will see people that you know and haven't seen in a long time. And you go, oh, goodness, I haven't seen you in a long time. And what will be exciting about that, it'll be a chance for connection and reconnection. So you'll meet new people, which is good. There's a lot of people out there that have an interest in this style of music and these type of events. So it will give you a chance to connect and meet new people. Lionel mentioned earlier that there's a cop that met somebody at the event and now they're married. How about that? Now, what I'm also going to suggest to you, if you are single and looking, if you are single and while you may not directly be looking and you got a side eye, you need to be at this event. There's going to be a lot of eligible bachelors and bachelorettes, etc., 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 at this event. You need to come out and check that event out if you are single and looking or single with a side eye. A lot of people are going to be there that are looking for love. You should be there. Okay. Let's talk about the vendors. Okay. You know, vendors in many cases are the unsung heroes of these events. And the reason I say that is because you may just see them as a person where I can get something to eat, I can buy something, a tchotchke, a t-shirt, clothes, etc. But what you may not realize is that vendor participation is a big part of what makes this happen for several reasons. Number one, when we're at these events and they're all-day events, we need these services. We really do need the services. Whether you're talking about food, drinks, etc. But then there's another side of that too. A lot of these vendors bring items that you wouldn't find, say, in the average store. You're not going to find some of the stuff that they have in Macy's. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be in Nordstrom. It's not going to be in Target or some of the other stores that you may frequent. And these vendors bring items that are one of a kind in many cases. So you should be checking for that. In addition to that, the vendors are a big financial backbone to these events. Okay, I'm going to say that again. They're a big financial backbone to these events, especially when you see them and a lot of the smaller guys, you know, don't have, say, maybe budgets and things of that nature, and they're running things out of hip national bank. The vendors are lifesavers. They come in, they pay to participate, and that is a financial boost. So that's very, 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 very important. So that's why it's so important to support the vendors because they really, really put it all on the line to make that happen. And they put up money, they put up time, they put up energy, and for them to be able to come out and have a good day is a good thing. You know, one of the things too that I want to point out too is that, and I don't know that we get enough credit for it in the house music community. I mean, we have a tremendous economic impact on whoever that event is. Now, okay, so when we think about economic impact, we may think of places like Disney with tourism, I don't know, Universal Studios, tourism, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of us don't think about the economic impact that our community has on a neighborhood. So, for example, I did an interview with Mayor Donald Shaw out of Roselle, which is going to be seen very soon. You'll see it very soon. Part of a little series called Mayors That Play House. And one of the things that he mentioned was that when our house music comes into a location, we spend a lot of money. We spend money. And if you're a vendor and all of a sudden you're hit with 1,000+ people, a couple thousand people, that's going to have an impact on your sales. And so he even said in the interview, he says, listen, vendors are like, bring them back. We make a lot of money when they come here. We have good days. And there's peace. You know, you don't get the turmoil with this audience. Well, for those of you who don't know, Lionel got disconnected some kind of way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a few minutes, and I'm just going to give you some idea what's going to happen on September 9th. We're going to have the Weequahic House Music Festival, as you know. Let me just give you some idea. And he's trying to log in now. You know, for some reason he got kicked out, but he's trying to log in now again. But I'm just, okay, so I'm going to give him another minute. I'm just going to finish a couple thoughts here, and then he should be logged back in momentarily. Okay. I love house music. I love house music. So while we're here, if you love house music, send up some hearts. If you love house music, send up some hearts. Okay, and then my question to you is, okay, he says he's back. All right, if you love house music, send up some hearts. Okay, here we go. And away we go. Lionel, can you hear me? I think this is here.
I tell you.
Yeah.
Technology, boy. Sorry about that.
Yes. Lionel is back,
We were
ladies
just
and
talking about sound.
Huh?
We were talking about sound, and all of a sudden my sound went out.
Yeah,
I
so
tell you.
tell us about the sound. I understand you have a thunderous sound system coming in. Talk to us what they can expect.
Yes. So, you know, everybody has good sound. You know, you go to different festivals and everybody has their sound. And, you know, I'm a guy that likes nice, clean sound, nice, crisp, and a lot of highs. And, you know, we've been dealing with one vendor for years, and he's always done a great job. But this year, I just happened to go by to the Roselle, and it was just unbelievable. So I had the opportunity to talk with him, and we came up with some numbers that worked for us. So we're going to be bringing in gentleman's name is Ambrose. So it's the same sound system and everything that you saw at Roselle. It's going to be at Weequahic this year.
Yes, that system is, forget about it. I know.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, and let me tell you something. So I know Ambrose for years, and
Wow.
yes, I've known him for years, and I've done stuff with them, and they supplied the sound For example, last year on an event that I did, I DJ'd at the Great Falls Festival in Patterson, and they supplied the sound for me there. I mean, it wasn't this sound, but yeah. And then they also too supplied the sound for SMB in 2019, pre-pandemic. So I know that system like crazy. So folks, let me tell you something. You know, to be fair, they really had a lot more headroom on that. A lot more headroom. And it was like unbelievable. Anyway,
Unbelievable.
yeah. So now let's do this. Let's talk about the lineup.
The lineup.
Crazy
Yes, indeed.
lineup, huh? Okay.
You know, we try to. So every year we try to do something a little bit different as far as that. But you know, every festival has their own unique style and ways that they do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Roselle for years has been a 2-day affair with just straight DJs.
Mm-hmm.
Some other festivals are just DJs. Lincoln Park has, you know, their multiple days and they
Mhm.
mix it. You know, our festival is known for not only bringing in some of the top DJs
Mhm.
from around the country, but also bringing in top performers, right?
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay.
so, you know, we're bringing a good lineup. So let's talk about the DJs.
Okay.
So, Cheer that'll be playing, Shahab will be playing in.
Mhm.
I don't know how it just
I'm sorry, you're going
but,
in and out. You're going in and out. Sorry. Yeah.
okay, so that he's
Yeah.
gonna be playing us. We jump around on the plane and go on. So you figure out how we does that. I don't know what
Oh goodness.
have for
Yeah.
the shifts he would play.
Yeah. We're hearing every other word.
As,
We're hearing every other word. Start again. You know, it's so funny we're talking about sound, and ever since then. Let's see.
Is
Okay.
that better?
Try it again. You froze. You froze. Okay.
Is that better?
Yes, now we're talking.
Oh,
Really?
okay. Really? Okay. I tell you, I hope this is not a precursor.
No, it's not.
So-
It's not.
So
Yeah, so
we have
start it
Jahan.
up because we really couldn't hear anything you said. I shouldn't say it. That's what we got.
Gotcha. So like I was saying, every festival is a little bit different, and every festival has their own unique style.
Mm-hmm.
And what Weequahic is really known for is not only bringing in some of the top DJs,
Mhm.
but also have some of the top vocalists back in time
Mm-hmm.
that plays. And this year will be no exception to that.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, we have a little bit of both. We have Jahad Muhammad that'll be playing for us this year, which, as I was saying, I don't know how he does it, but you know, he happens to get around, and not only is he playing for us on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as he finishes playing, he's getting on a plane and heading to Jamaica to play down in Jamaica. So that's that's amazing. We have Wally B. That'll be playing. We have, and this is going to be a little bit of a change, and she's a little bit of an unknown, but I'm sure by the time she finishes playing, everybody's going to know who she is. You know, she's the former council president of Hillside. And she plays, and it just so happens how I recognized that she plays. I just happened to go into one of my favorite spots, and I heard her play, and I'm like, I didn't know you DJ. And so she says, yeah, I do a little something. So DJ Storm, she'll be playing. And she'll be opening it up for us. And of course, we have Sandra Trent, who will be bringing on. She's played for us before when we've done stuff with the circus. She played for us, but now we're actually bringing her on the stage, and she'll be playing. We have Charisma from the Basement Boys, and I happened to be with him last week, actually, out on the West Coast, and he was playing. So we got a chance to hang out for a while, so he's excited. We're also bringing in DJ Ron Pullman. Now, he's one of those top DJs out of Atlanta. And he's good friends with Baby Powder, DJ Punch. So,
Okay, got you.
yeah, so they play a lot, and he's really, really excited about playing and coming up and playing in New Jersey and bringing a little bit of that, Atlanta style soulful house. So he's looking forward to that. I was with them last week, and then we're gonna close it out with Joe Corcell. That'll be closing out for us with also another special guest that we're working on just for a little bit there. So we're pretty good with that as that is. And then as far as artists, we're bringing in Mojan, which you interviewed a couple of weeks back.
Yes, I interviewed her. Eddie Nicholas, thanks to Eddie Nicholas.
Yeah. Yep, because of Eddie Nicholas. And then Abreza, she'll be singing. And then Elias, Follow Me. He's coming in. So this would be a big homecoming for him, so to speak. On the stage. And then we're going to be honoring two individuals that are a big part of not only the festival, but house music in general. First one is Tippy Torales, who will be celebrating 50 years. 50 years playing house music. 50 years. So you got you have this gentleman that's been playing for over 50 years. We definitely get his roles. And we'll be celebrating that major achievement. And then again, we'll be also celebrating, because this will be his last festival. He'll be retiring in December. Commissioner Rue Johnson as the co-founder of this event with Dolly Mitchell.
Wow. Speaking of Elias, I interviewed him last year, and it just popped up again, so I reposted it. So if anybody wants to see that, so many people were influenced, so many people got their first taste of house music through Follow Me, and it's still a staple, especially at weddings and things of that nature. So
well, I'll give you one better, Dan.
Okay.
When we were negotiating having him come on, I told him that that was my mother's favorite song.
Is that right?
That was her favorite song. Wow. And I remember when it first came out, she made me run to the record store.
And right?
She made me go out to the record store in person, right? Moving records. I'm like, Mom, you can't. And she said, make sure and buy two. I want to support those young guys, right? So that's what I did. And my mother passed away, and I want to thank not only you, Dan, for attending, but those in our family, basically our Soulful House family, for either attending or sending warm wishes or prayers for the family. It really helped to soothe me and my family as we were going through that transition with my mom and then actually burying her. So I want to thank you. But isn't it ironic that she passes and he's going to be playing her favorite song?
Right. Wow.
So fundamental stuff there. So it's just interesting how God moves in mysterious ways.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, again, just want real excitement? Go to this event. I'm telling you. Holly Rock, what's up? Is in the house. Holly Rock, how you doing, sir? He's always been a big supporter. When I see him, he always bigs me up, and I appreciate Holly Rock. Yeah. Well, okay. How about this? Where will the show be broadcasted? Because I know every year in the past, it's not only the live event, but it goes live in other places and that kind of stuff. Tell us how we can hear it. Let's say we can't physically get there.
Repeat that. I'm sorry.
I said,
didn't hear that.
Okay, every year in the past, you've also broadcasted it. So let's say I can't get there, but I still want to be a part, and I still want to hear it. Will there be a broadcast this year?
Yes. So, we started doing this a couple of years ago. It's been a big hit, and we get people from all over the world that actually tune in. Last year was saw people from Hungary,
Wow.
Hong Kong, and Australia. Right, those are the ones that stuck out in my head that actually watched the stream. But yes, it'll be back on our website, the aaccoec.org website, and you'll be able to watch it.
Fantastic. Now, give us the timelines, like the start to finish. Like what time to start, what time to finish.
So we're going to be starting exactly at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm a sprinter by nature, so it's all starting gun.
Okay.
For me, so we're going to start at 10 o'clock, and we're going to go from 10 to, so you got 13 hours of just straight music.
Now, another question I wanted to ask is, do you have to register in advance to come, or you can just come?
So you don't have to register, but we have people to register just to give us an idea of how much to expect. We also have people to register because when they register, they're in for the price. And we give away 5 of these tickets. Right? So we limit the draw on who's applied or who's registered, excuse me, and they get an opportunity in the VIP section.
Got you. So there's reasons to pre-register, right? And then two,
exactly.
And then two, I know if they pre-register, you can keep them up to date with any developments also, correct?
Correct. We keep them up to date as well as we make sure that, especially for the vendors, right? Because a lot of events, the way our events are set up, is first come, first serve. But it's also the earlier you reserve for the following year, the less expensive it is, right? So this is our way of keeping everybody up to date. Right now, since we've been doing this, we have about 35,000 email addresses that we send out, and we keep people informed. And usually the last week, not usually, we always do the last week. We have a little shout out from the individuals that will be participating. So you'll probably see the first one later today, and everyone will be coming every week, as well as we keep people updated as far as the festival, if there's any changes or anything like that that we got to do. I mean, one year, I don't know if you remember this particular year, it was a broadcast of bad torrential rain that Saturday, and we made the decision early Friday to cancel it and move it to the Sunday. But there was concern I had to go and notify people, like, wait a minute, we got the email, people's email addresses. So we were able to send out that notice. And then when Saturday came, it was sunny all day until about 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And then the torrential rain came down, and that basically saved us. But, we had a good time on that Sunday, and if it wasn't for having that database of
okay, went out for whatever reason,
yeah.
Okay, so database, Hey, any final thoughts that you'd like to share before or any highlights that you'd like to share before we close it out?
I would just say, come out, have a good time, bring the kids. We have something for everyone that's going to be there, all types of food, great music. We're probably going to end up with a little surprise at the end with something. We're saving that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're going in and out again. You were going in and out again. Sorry. Freeze.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's going to be a fun full time. It's going to be great. You thought last year was fun. This year is going to even be more exciting. And I would also say get there early. because the later you get, the harder it is to find parking.
Right.
And like I said, the sheriff's department had to shut down the park last year, and that was we maxed out at 27,000. So I would say get there early, or you might be way in the back, or your best bet at that point in time is to watch it online. Because they're out there to protect us, and they want to make sure everybody's safe. So and safety comes first.
Hey.
So come and enjoy yourself.
Hey, just a thought just popped in my head. Is it possible? It may not be, but just popped in my head. Is there possible to maybe have some type of shuttle? And the only reason I thought of that because just popped in my head. I remember last August 26th, I know in Edison they had a little shuttle there going up. So just a thought, especially if people, can't get in after a certain point, whatever. Just a thought. Anyway.
No, that's a great point. And Dan, it's things like that by just going to other festivals, talking to other individuals. That's something that, that can eventually be added. I don't know if it's too late to add it for this year.
Yeah, that's,
but that's something that, we're going to put at the top of the list. We're going to look at it. Don't be surprised if you see it next year. But I'll make sure you get the credit because it was your idea.
I'm just a little cog in the wheel here. That's it.
No.
Anyway. So, hey, if you want people to reach you, any final thoughts? And if you want people to, if you want people to reach you, how would they do it? Or if they want to reach the event or find out more about the event, how do they do it?
So, again, they can go on the website, aaccoec.org, as well as Facebook.
Okay. Fantastic.
People, my telephone number, I get calls from everywhere, so somehow telephone numbers in the universe, or they'll find a way of tracking me, or they can actually go to the Essex County Commissioner's website, and they can get it from there as well.
Okay. Fantastic. Hey, listen. Hey, Lionel, thank you so much for spending time with us and giving us an update on this event.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. What Lionel is and his team, and his crew, and the whole committee there are pulling off is no less than enormous, ginormous, big. And the way it goes, it's very smooth, it's seamless. You'll come out, you'll have such a great time. This is also a time if you have some people who you think need to be introduced to house music, they need to come. If you have people that are on the fence about whether they're going to make this event, they need to come. Whether you're on the fence, you need to come. You need to come out and have a great time. The lineup is tremendous. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
And if I could just add one thing, we try to bring a certain level of professionalism to this event, and this year is no exception, and we have some great people that keeps the event going. Eddie Nicholas is our MC together with Raz Anthony and Zakia, right? So between the three of them, their job is just to keep everything moving, and they do a great job at it. And I'm happy to say that this year we'll be having all three of them participating this year in the event. So it'll be a great event, and people have a good time. So come on out. The weather's going to be great.
Yes.
Like I said, plenty of food, and just enjoy.
Just two other things before we close it out. Millie Mills, what's up?
Millie
Good
Mills.
to see you. Yes. Hey, Millie Mills. Yes. And then I also, too, want to let you know that Deep House Magazine, which I'm working with behind the scenes, is doing a tremendous job. They will be out there in full force for interviews and things that nature. They have a professional setup, et cetera, et cetera. Big shout out to George Aiken, Angels.
And definitely everybody that's listening, please go out and support that brother, support this magazine.
Yes.
This is something that, we never had before.
Right.
It is professionally done. It looks great.
Yes.
And it just gives additional exposure to, to what we call soulful house and house music, period. But the other most important thing about that is that when we talk about, especially as far as organizers and the ones putting on these events and stuff like that, when we go out and we try to solicit sponsors, it's magazines like this that we can actually take to the sponsor or potential sponsor, say, okay, this is what this community is about. This is who buys the magazine, and because it's so professionally done, it makes it an easy step.
Let me add. Okay, I'm sorry, you're freezing. Okay. Let me add one more thing too. We are taking on sponsors for Deep House Magazine. Hit me up. You can hit me up on SOULFUL. No, hit me up under Dan Shiver, SHIVER, because I know I'll see that. Okay, if you have my phone number, call me, text me, whatever. We've got a lot of good stuff coming up. A lot of big heavy hitters, but also too, we've got some people we're trying to support on the way up. So support the magazine. When I say support the magazine, I say buy. It's not that expensive. It's like maybe $10 or less or something like that. It comes out a few times a year, and it's very, very important for our industry, as he's mentioned, but also too, please contact me or George Aiken, and there's some others too, but if you can contact me for sponsorships, there's a real opportunity to get your word out, to get your information out. A lot of people are seeing, a lot of people are talking about it, a lot of people are on it. So again, they will be there. Let's just say, we'll be there. SOULFUL House Nation will be there. We'll be doing interviews and stuff that you can see at later time. And this is all part of what the magazine is doing. So please come out and support. And also too, if you have a service, if you have any type of product or service that you want to sell, T-shirts, etc., you want to buy, reach out to me or George Aiken, and we'll get some other names too, and we can, move that along. Lionel.
Yes, sir.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you so much again.
Always a pleasure.
So much again. Yeah. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, our community is on the move. Let me say one last thing before we go into the Shazam Free Zone, is that just remember, all right, we're bringing out thousands and thousands and thousands of people to these events. And everything that goes mainstream starts underground. Whether it's hip-hop, whether it's rock and roll, whether it's R&B, whether it's soul, it all started underground. Hey, we're that new Afro beats, which is coming up, not to be confused with Afro house. But it all... Hey, dance hall. You could just go on and on and on. Reggaeton. All that started underground. Disco, all started underground. Folks, we are the underground movement coming to the surface. So we need the support. Come out, events, buy stuff, support the artists, support the producers and the dancers, and support the vendors, support the magazine, etc., etc., etc. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Zakiya Thomas Coles is in the house. Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Dan, SOULFUL House Nation, coming to you live from the 8th floor. Get ready. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into the Shazam Free Zone. We're going to play some brand new music. And again, some of the music that we're going to play, I want you to hear about. Tariq Brody's got this whole new EP thing going. I'm going to play one of the tracks, Another Life. I'm going to, Rodney Energy Atkinson has an EP. We're going to play from his EP, Cosmic Order, plus some other stuff that most of you have never heard before. All right, ladies and gentlemen, DJ Dan, SOULFUL House Nation, coming to you live from the 8th floor. Get ready.
Yes.